bitchin'. There's like the Galleria. And like all these like really great shoe stores. I like love going into like clothing stores and stuff. I like buy the neatest mini skirts and stuff. It's like so bitchin' because like everybody's like super, super nice. It's like so bitchin'. Like anyway, he goes, are you into S&M? I go, oh, right. Could you, like, just picture me in, like, a leather teddy? Yeah, right. Hurt me. I'm sure, no way. He was, like, freaking me out. He called me a beastie. That's because, like, he's totally blitzed. He goes, like, bag your face, I'm sure. Valley girl, she's a valley girl. Valley girl, she's a valley girl. Okay, fine, for sure. She's a valley girl, so sweet and pure. Okay, fine, for sure. She's a really sad. Valley girl. Like my English teacher, he's like Mr. Boo-Foo. We're talking Lord God King Boo-Foo. I am so sure he's like so gross. Like he sort of like plays with all his rings and he like flirts with all the guys in the class. It's like totally disgusting. I'm like so sure it's like barf me out, gag me with a spoon. Idea to cross her mind has nothing to do with where to find a pair of jeans to fit her butt and where to get her toenails cut. So like I go into this like salon place, you know, and I want like to get my toenails done, and the lady like goes, oh my god, your toenails are like so grody. It was like really embarrassing. She's like, oh my god, like bag those toenails. I'm like, sure. She goes, I don't know if I can handle this, you know. I was like really embarrassed. She's a valley girl. Valley girl. She's a valley girl. Okay, fine. For sure. She's a valley girl. And there is no cure. Okay, fine. For sure. She's a valley girl. And there is no cure. Like my mother's like a total space cadet. She like makes me do the dishes and clean the cat box. I am sure that's like gross. Barf out. Oh my god. Hi. My name is Andrea Wilson. That's right, Andrea. I know. It's like I do not talk funny, I'm sure. What's the matter with the way I talk? I'm a Val, I know. But I was like in a really good part of Encino, so it's okay. So like, I don't know. I'm like freaking out totally. Oh my god. Hi, I have to go to the orthodontist. I'm getting my braces off me. But I have to wear a retainer. That's going to be really, like, a total bummer. I'm freaking out. I'm sure. Like, those things that, like, stick in your mouth are so gross. You, like, get saliva all over them. But, like, I don't know. It's going to be cool, you know. All the guys can, like, see my smile. It'll be, like, really cool. Except my, like, teeth are, like, too small. But no biggie. So awesome. It's, like, tubular, you know. Well, I'm not, like, really ugly or anything. It's just, like, I don't know. You know me, I'm like into the clean stuff like Pac-Man and like I don't know, like my mother like makes me do the dishes. It's like so gross, like all this stuff like sticks to the plate. And it's like somebody else's food, you know. It's like grody to the max. I'm sure it's like really nauseating. Like barf out, gag me with the spoon, gross. I am sure. Totally.
Someday we play another Kid in the Crawl. That's our out, right there. We play another Kid in the Crawl, we're out of here. You know that.
Yeah.
So that's our ace in the hole. We don't have to swear or do anything unsightly. Just play that. Just pop in the tape and just sit here and wait for the thing to fall, the axe, for the events to happen.
Well, that's nice to know you have an out here, Stephen.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. And we've got it sitting. It's right in the rack there. All we got to do is Holly could pop that in right now, and we'd be unemployed by 7. Maybe let's just hear like the first "He Was Afraid Of." Let's just hear that, just so we know that it's there. But stop it right after "He Was Afraid Of."
In with Lime, out by 5.
He was afraid of.
I said stop. Howie, I said stop it after he was afraid of.
Howie, you're going to get fired. That's all there is to it.
All right, so that's there if we ever need it. That's our safety net. Whoa, we don't dig something, we don't dig it, it's not happening anymore. Get a better offer somewhere. Just pop that baby in, let it play. How long is it?
407.
And 4:07, we're out of here.
Plenty of time for him to run down the stairs.
For us to pack up, get everything out of our desk. You know?
Well, if it happened today, you'd be walking out with 2 50-foot garden hoses.
Yeah. That's about all I have here today.
Yeah.
And some patches.
Yeah. Some guy sent him some patches.
Well, I'm working on getting hats.
Yeah.
Steve Dahl and Gary Meyer hats. And they can embroider right on the hat like this.
Really?
Yeah, you don't even need a patch. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, we have to go to that place on Clark Street to get measured for our baseball hats.
Camps, yeah. All right, Cliff.
Yes, this is the 5,000th of old Wally on WLS FM 95.
Hit it, Don.
Tuesday morning in the dark, I called you up from Tinley Park. Said we were going away, even though my husband's gay. I want to know the weather in Intercourse, PA. You said it was wet today. Oh, Wally, I just love your cheap Kmart toupee. Wear some porous clothes, be sure to blow your nose, and go to Ace Hardware to get a garden hose. Oh, Wally, I called and you gave me some pantyhose with a cotton panel. Oh, Wally, I wanted a dinner for 2. And you sent me a scarf, oh, Wally. I get up early every day, the Wally Phillips way. It's so nice to be together. We talk about the weather. I want to tell you, Wally, I'm super into leather. Oh, Wally, I like you and your newsman, Rick Rosenthal. Not that disgusting Steve Dahl. Oh, Wally, your lead-ins to commercials are so cute. And they make you some loot. Oh, Wally, Mr. $300,000 a year. I can see you sitting in that studio at 5:30 in the morning in your banana-colored Legion suit with your toupee on crooked and little white balls of sleep in your eyes. Oh, Wally, my husband's a homosexual, but he still listens to, oh, Wally. I'm so worried about my son Bobby. His father makes him play baseball in the nude. Oh, Wally, I called and you gave me some pantyhose with a cotton panel. Oh, Wally, I wanted a dinner for 2. And you sent me a scarf. Oh, Wally, can I tell you something, Wally? Okay? When I send Bobby off to school and my husband is left for work, you're still on the air for about another 2 hours, and I take the radio into the bathroom and I fill my bathtub up with rice pudding, and I just lay there and I think about you, and you talk and you read, you know, those commercials. commercials of yours. Can I tell you something, Wally? I bet I could guess what's in your black box, mister. Oh, I want you so bad. Well, I was powering down beers and drinking whiskey by the shot, drinking and staking in my favorite night spot, when all of a sudden I had the urge to pee. 20 other fellers had the same urge as me. The urinals were crowded with a line 3 deep. So into a stall this cowboy didn't creep. I set myself down to do more than just peeing. I couldn't believe what my eyes were seeing. The writings on the wall of this here bathroom stall. It's very plain to see that she no longer loves just me. It's all over, yes indeed. I should have stayed out there and peed. The writings on the wall of this here bathroom stall. There is something up there about how Elvis used to play hard rock, but now he's rock hard. And another thing about what some feller did to his poor little sheep with a tin of animal lard. There were messages from homos that make a hetero man like myself sick. Some guy had even drawn a big old ugly picture of a dick. I think it was Nixon. And then I saw something I knew would forever change my life. It was 2 paragraphs some guy had written about the things he'd done to my wife. The writings on the wall of this here bathroom stall. It's very plain to see she no longer loves just me. It's all over, yes indeed. I should have stayed out there and peed. The writings on the wall of this here bathroom stall. He had her name spelled right, both last and first. Our phone number was there, but you haven't heard the worst. I kept hoping it wasn't true, hoping it was a lie. But he knew about the Merle Haggard tattoo on her left thigh. I wish I'd never pulled down my pants, never given that wall a second glance. Then I wouldn't have seen that awful writing. It's just that that seat looked so inviting. The writings on the wall of this here bathroom stall. It's very plain to see that she no longer loves just me. It's all over, yes indeed. I should have stayed out there and peed. The writings on the wall of this here bathroom stall. He said that woman of mine could really make love, and they fit together like hand in glove. All those nights I thought she was sitting home alone. This guy's been buying tickets to her erogenous zone. It was painful to read, but through my tears I could see she was doing things to him she never done to me. Here I sit all broken hearted. This is it, we finally parted. The writings on the wall, this here bathroom stall. It's very plain to see that she no longer loves just me. It's all over, yes indeed. I should have stayed out there and peed. The writings on the wall of this here bathroom stall.
And the best of last Saturday, it sounded great.
Yeah, it did.
So thanks,
How do I know? I wasn't
Rich.
here, but people told me it did.
Yeah.
So, Dan, how come I saw you when Sandy, our secretary, came in? How come I saw you checking her out?
She looks very good for herself. I haven't seen her in a while. She looks very good. Very good.
This could be a whole new area for you, huh?
No, it's just, you know.
He can appreciate. It's
I
like
can
I can appreciate
it.
a good-looking man.
Yeah.
Steve can.
I
believe
can.
me.
I want to. Well, I don't know if you don't want to say this, well, you don't have to. But it was kind of. He was telling me about what he did last night.
Oh, geez, come on. You know what kind of people we're talking to here?
No. It was just an interesting perspective thing. I mean.
No, I didn't have Walter Jacobson over.
No. No, what I mean is, just saying, like, you know, and then he came over to my house, then I had to get up and, you know, and take him someplace.
But I didn't mind.
No, I know, but I mean, it's just weird, you know. Usually
You're doing a great cover-up. I love the way you're covering up your little area.
Sexuality.
Yeah.
No, he goes, well, I stayed until 4, and then do you care if I say this?
I don't care what you say. You said so much about me now, it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't matter. But it's different. You know, I don't hear guys talk like this all the time. He goes, so I met someone, left at 4, went to my place. You know, went to bed about 5:30. You know, and then he had to get up at 7:30 to go to work, and so I drove him to work. It's just weird to hear that, I think. You know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, used to guys going, she.
Yeah.
But some guys don't. And some gals don't go he.
That's right.
Some gals go she.
Billie Jean's not my lord. She had a
talking
house.
about how she should have given that house to, she should have given that up in the palimony.
Yeah.
So lady be sitting there in her wheelchair with sandbags all around it. Can I put some sandbags on that wheelchair for you?
I don't know if you heard the open of the show.
I did.
It concerned John Belushi, who died a year ago tomorrow already.
I heard that, yes.
So you weren't here to talk about it. I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that, but I just kind of played whatever we had concerning him and the song that Judy Jacqueline Belushi had. Well, she plays bass on the song, as far as I know, right?
Yeah, and she put it on her video.
Right. And the woman who wrote it and composed it, Rhonda Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's there to say?
Well, I didn't know. So you weren't here, so I just kind of...
I was actually glad I wasn't here, because, what's there to say?
But I remember that evening, because we all went over to your house. It was so weird. That whole thing in a body bag and a banged-up van, and all so sick.
It's still weird. You know, just seeing Animal House or something on TV is weird. It's weird.
But... it's amazing. It doesn't seem like a whole year has gone by, but then Marcus has been dead a year next month already. I mean, I know it's bizarre to bring up, but when it comes close to these dates, I do remember them. I just... incredible things.
Larry Schreiner.
Eddie, we went into the control room. We saw a giant fat man sweating.
I got to call a brief timeout to sound a little bit skeptical here. It's hard for me to believe that any announcer at WGN or at your place
could actually be...
That's what I was thinking.
Knock the station off the air.
That's what I was thinking when I
engineers.
first heard it. And then when I listened again, somebody said, well, you know, all the transmitters are hooked up to a computer here. Now, maybe he was playing with the computer, trying to get the weather in or something.
I mean, you know,
I agree.
That's what there's nothing you guys could do to put the station off the air. I know you've tried probably. So.
No, actually, well, I could. If I wanted to go to fiddle just for snicks with the buttons, I could. Maybe he would, you know, he's so bizarre. Boy, well, I want to check the filament voltage.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's running a little hot. You know, and he touches the wrong button and it goes off.
Yeah, but I mean...
well, why don't you call him? Because you know him.
Have you guys ever been up to GN? I mean, it's like
we were
sitting
up there.
in a spaceship, you know, in their studio there, the Pierre Andre studio. You know, and they got a picture of Pierre on the wall and a plaque.
Who's he?
Oh, he's some guy who died a long time ago. He used to be on WGN for like 30 years, you know, which is one of like the shorter, you know.
Yeah, he was just like just a fill-in.
A newcomer, yeah. And he died, so they named the studio after him. I think that might be him in the corner there.
The Pierre Andre studio.
Yeah.
Well, all I know is, according to what we've heard, he actually did it himself.
Well,
maybe you could call him and find out.
When we were at the Loop, one day we had some people in the studio, and this woman leaned back and did turn the transmitter off.
Yeah.
She hit some button, and there it went.
She hit lower.
Yeah, and it did.
It lowered it. We lowered the plate voltage or whatever it is.
Well, maybe I'll check into it, or I'll call Larry.
I want to talk about it. I'm going to just dial up the radar on the screen here. Uh-oh. Actually, with AM, it's... Uh-oh. Hello, testing. 1, 2. Test, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Uh-oh.
I've got the studio number someplace.
And even if he didn't do it, Gary, we want to pretend that he did.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I'm gonna try to call the studio and find out. Or I've got Larry Schreiner's home number. Maybe I can call him at home. He's probably just getting to bed right now, resting up for tonight or something, where he, goes out on the street.
And even if Eddie didn't do it, we've heard that he's very difficult to work with and gives engineers a real hard time. So imagine that engineer, the big 500-pound guy with a whiny nasal voice. What the hell are you trying to do to me? I'm the #1 rated all-night personality in the city of Chicago, which means absolutely nothing.
You guys would never think of giving an engineer a hard time, would you?
No, I mean, we're reasonable.
Well, we give him a hard time,
But we've heard he goes off the handle on the silliest
kind of
things.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I mean...
We've heard a lot of stories. I'm sorry.
Well, it's the on-air product that counts, and I don't know if that's...
No, I don't think that's true, because we are, first and foremost, human beings.
Nice guys, too.
Inhabitants of this planet, Gary.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we can't treat our fellow broadcasters with a little respect and dignity,
well, on that note,
then
let me...
who can we treat with respect and dignity?
Let me investigate this. Let me be the official, Mike Wallace and investigate this.
That's how I always treat everybody with respect.
Oh, boy.
Your right-hand man is
Get out
over
of
here.
here.
He's here.
Oh,
He's
boy.
here.
He's not there.
He's visiting.
Okay, well, I tell you what. Why don't I do part of the report, and then I'll go, and now over to Dan and traffic counter number 2.
I'm not doing anything.
That's right.
You guys sound a lot alike.
Yeah, but we're very different.
Thank God.
And I'm sure he'll be quick to point that out.
You fight that out amongst yourselves.
Outbound Kennedy is stop and go out to North Avenue.
You boys wrestle with that problem yourself.
No, forget it. I mean, you're talking about greasing down and, forget it.
A nude Greco-Roman.
You should see the vat of mud we have up there in the Hancock. It's great.
Forget it. Heavy again from Montrose to Nagel, 25.
Dan, you have a little story to share with everyone?
Nothing.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know. He was starting some story, then he clammed up when the light went on.
Better not be about me.
It was.
It was, yeah.
And John Guerin.
Oh, you mean the
Dan told a joke on the
You mean the
one day.
pictures?
Huh?
Dan, nobody's supposed to talk about those pictures.
No. He told when he was doing our traffic, he told a joke.
Yeah.
And what was the joke?
Oh, yeah. I remember that. And right after that.
Say it again.
No, I'm not going to say the joke because I got yelled at.
No, really.
I remember
It
if
was
you
about
just start.
the pregnant man. Okay, that's all I'll say.
I got to go. See you later.
Okay.
Bye. Did you hear the one about the pregnant man? He had eyes in the back of his head.
I didn't say that.
You can say it.
I'm wimping out, guys. I'll be quite honest.
All right,
I'm
well, turn
wimping
off the
out.
microphones and tell
Let
me the
Steve
joke.
tell it.
Okay. So, a gay guy calls his mom, says, "Mom, I'm pregnant." She says, "No, you can't be." He says, "Yes, I am." She says, "Who's the father?" He says, "What do you think? I have eyes in the back of my head?" So John Guerin called up Gary Lee and made him
and yelled
tell you
because
to.
he got mad because I told the joke on the air.
Because that's Guerin's joke.
Really? That's his favorite one.
Yeah, no, he wrote that joke. He puts out a joke sheet, and he gets upset when people rip off his stuff. And I don't blame him. Der bingo.
Yeah.
Kind of a ruling with a iron hand. Jeez. Man, I just got people. I'm going to read this article, see if there's anything that wasn't covered in the paper today. But I can't imagine. Well, there's a lot of things I can't imagine, so.
What about this story?
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
When it's time.
Oh.
When it's time for you to know. We can do it now if you want, I guess.
When did you
I kinda
promise
wanna
to read it?
this. Well, I didn't promise
Oh.
a specific time. I'd like to read this right now. Kind of get into the Bingle thing, because of course we've got St. Pat's Day coming up. Tora Laura Laura's not ever going to be the same for me. Or Danny Boy. Oh, Danny Boy, your pants are down around your ankles. And you're bending over my knee. I want to spank you with that belt of mine that has the metal studs. Oh, Danny boy, your butt is bleeding bad. Boy, Bingle. I'm dreaming of a red bottom. Jeez, he beat the kid every day.
Called him Bucket Butt.
Bucket Butt because he had a weight problem. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Pretty normal. Pretty sane. 5:33. Did we do traffic? Yeah, we did, right?
Yeah.
What else? Want to do this? I can wait. I can read this later, you know.
Well, you've got to highlight the nice spots in the story, right?
Yeah, with my highlighting pen,
Yeah.
my yellow highlighting pen. Oh, let's do this now. A Lombard, Illinois man accused of going jogging during last week's warm spell with jogging shorts that were only painted on with black shoe polish is free on $50,000 bond. Police say Ralph Goodson was arrested for public indecency charges for displaying a unique jogging costume to 13-year-old girls at a public playground last week. Lombard police say the girls saw a man running along the playground fence wearing only a T-shirt. The bottom portion of his body was covered by shoe polish. Painted in a manner resembling jogging shorts, even with white trim.
Those shorts are so tight, it looks like they're painted on.
The 41-year-old Goodson was free on bond at the time of the incident on charges of taking indecent liberties with a child in Lombard. Perhaps the shoeshine boy that he got the polish from. 535 WLS FM 95.
Oh
official
No.
Kenny Rogers station. Only one station can be the official Kenny Rogers station. And that station, the official station, is WGN.
Yeah. Steve, as you know,
I bet Eddie helped him swing that.
Oh, Eddie's got a lot of pull.
I understand that Eddie and the R-Man are very tight.
He throws a lot of weight in this city. We are featuring a 2-hour musical special with Chicago.
I think it's carries a lot of weight, isn't it?
Well, he does whatever he
or
can.
throw your weight around.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Tracing all 16 successful albums.
No matter what it is, when he does it, I'm going to keep yipping at these little scoundrels until they're 21, and I'm going to demand they have a goal in life, a purpose. The most tragic spectacle I can think of is that of a young man slipping aimlessly through school, then life, secure in the belief that affluence means happiness. I'm not going to let up on them. Then here's Gary's little paragraph. I dropped my pants, pulled down my undershorts, and bent over. Then he went at it with the belt dotted with metal studs he kept reserved for the occasion. Quite dispassionately, without the least display of emotion or loss of self-control, he whacked away until he drew the first drop of blood, and then he stopped. It normally took between 12 and 15 strokes. I counted them off one by one and hoped I would bleed early. To keep my mind off the hurt, I would conjure up different schemes to get back at him, ways to murder him. Hollywood's most typical father.
Well, Hollywood is a little different.
Gary Crosby's written a book about how Bing used to beat the pants off of him, I guess. Although they were already off when he started beating. Look, he put the kids in military academy when they were like... Well, it says family portrait from 1940 from left, Philip 5, Gary 6, Dennis 5, and they're all dressed in little military academy uniforms. Like military kindergarten. I mean, that's pretty heavy. Gary's look back in anger has provoked a high-powered fraternal feud. Says younger brother Philip, 48, Gary is a whining, bitching crybaby, walking around... Sounds like Derbingle's spanking of Philip turned him into a real man.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah. Walking around with a 2x4 on his shoulder and just daring people to nudge it off. Counters Gary, whose fists often clench at the mere mention of Philip. As far as I'm concerned, Philip's dead. He isn't worth the powder to blow him to hell.
Kind of a nice family thing happens around Christmas, I'm sure, with those people.
Yeah, that's as far as I've gotten so far, but... pretty weird. Derbingle.
Mm-hmm. We'll be reading from that periodically over the next few days.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't think when I hear Tura Lura Lura on Thursday, it's going to have the same meaning. Or Danny Boy or any of those. It's
going to hurt a little in the buttocks.
It's going to sting.
Yeah.
It's going to sting. Yeah.
Here's,
here's Ann. 623.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Microphone's working good? Oh, good.
No, it's still bad.
Still bad?
Is somebody going to fix that, George? Did you write that up or something?
They'll be there tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, things are good on the Express.
That was his first wife. Set rules that governed every waking hour, and violations of the rules resulted in humiliating punishments. When Philip, and this is Philip who thinks everything's fine and Gary's out of his mind, hid his bacon and eggs under a rug instead of eating everything on his breakfast plate, Dixie found the food and forced him to eat it, dirt, hairs, and all, writes Gary.
Eggs Bing Crosby style.
Yeah. I'd rather eat eggs Bing Crosby style than Danny Thomas style, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Messiness was not tolerated. If one of the boys did not put away his underwear, he had to tie it on a string and wear it around his neck until bedtime. And the reason the kid hid the food under the rug was that he they made him clean their plates, and, the kid didn't want to eat. Being referred to that as the Crosby lavalier.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
The most serious transgressions brought severe whippings. And as the most rebellious of the brothers, Gary was the one most frequently beaten. He got the first licking, and we got the second, said Dennis. Gary began to expect punishment almost daily. My father would come home at 6 o'clock, and by 6:05, he'd heard the news of what I'd done. Then I'd get bent over and my pants taken down and beat till I bled. He was never an enraged, insane man. He was very methodical. In fact, the famous even-tempered Bing was infamous in his own household. He never blew the old cool. It was like dealing with a frigging mop, says Gary. Adds Dennis, he could get cold real quick. That's why he always wore that that's why he always wore that golf sweater. Of course, he's dead now. I wanted to say that's why he always wears, but I just can't let go of Der Bingle. To me, he's still on that golf course in Madrid.
Yeah, with the Bing Crosby lavalier.
Yeah, I'll keep finding more. Speaking of dead people, though, if I might transgress for just a moment. Mr. Steve Dahl, Gary, with about 10 R's, is correct. Burl Ives is not dead, you maggot-brained beach ball.
Uh-oh.
How can I get this through your armor-plated skull, you hairbag? Burl Ives is God's gift to song. His mellifluous voice has been enjoyed by millions and will be heard by millions more. When Burl Ives does pass on, as alas we all must, he will no doubt be carried to his final resting place in a huge procession witnessed by the masses on all 3 major television networks. So, you putrid slug, perhaps you would like to retract your erroneous statement before Burl Ives really does die. His death would then be on your head. Signed, Lunatic.
Lunatic, how's he doing? Hey, Lou.
Burl Ives is dead. Actually, the guy's name is Scott Nelson from Crystal Lake. Scott, denial of Burl Ives' death syndrome is very, very, very sad and often troublesome disease, and psychiatrists have a lot of trouble dealing with it, and curing people of it. You should see a psychiatrist, because denial of Burl Ives' death syndrome can kill.
Hi, is Scott there? Scott, Gary Meyer from WLS, the Big 95 in Chicago. Can we put you on the air a second? Okay. Steve, would you please welcome Scott Nelson to the show? You're in the air,
also
Scott.
known as Lunatic.
Hey, Lou.
He's dead, Scott.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. I want you to deal with that.
No.
Yes, he is.
No, I've done a lot of research on this, and he's not.
Steve, how much research have you done?
I saw his obituary in the paper.
No, I think you imagined that.
No. Okay, where have you researched this?
The New York Times obituary, the World Almanac and Book of Facts, the Chicago Tribune.
Steve, your sources?
I remember seeing
I remember,
an
doesn't count.
obituary. Who can we call to find out? Who can we call to find out for sure?
Well, you could probably check with the Tribune.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll do that.
Okay.
I swear I saw
Steve,
an obituary.
you've made a lot of things up in your life.
Well,
This
I'm
could
not
be
making this up. On purpose, anyway.
Well, I heard Gary say that he's sort of a celebrity death follower, and I am too.
Well, if this is true, then what I have is even worse than denial of Burlive's death syndrome, because I have some syndrome where I think that he is dead, even though I have denial of Burlive's
life.
Yeah, Burlive's alive syndrome, which is even scarier, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure the guy's dead. I swear.
I don't know.
All right, we'll check.
I just couldn't bear watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer knowing that he was dead.
Well, I think he is, but we'll check to make sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Scott.
Sure.
Or Lou. Lou and the Tick. Well, who should we call? Let's do this right
Mrs.
now.
Ives, I would imagine. She should know.
How about Jimmy Crack Corn? Can we get a number for him?
Jimmy. All right, we have commercials and then the All My Children update, and we'll figure something out here with Burl, or Bye, as we call him for short. All right?
Bye?
B-I. Call him Bye for short. Okay.
A whining, bitching crybaby. Philip looks pretty insane.
This is out of the New People magazine.
I mean, he's...
Philip's been married 4 times and divorced.
Yeah, and he's sitting in his den, and he obviously smokes a lot. He's got a bunch of air fresheners around and, like, vitamins and 2 TV sets.
The picture is worth 1,000 words, as they say.
Maybe 3 TV. There could be a TV over here,
it's a
too.
very weird... You should see this picture.
Yeah, and his last job, he's a singer himself.
A saloon singer, Steve.
His last job was in
last year.
80... Where is that?
It's over here somewhere, I think. Here.
His last gig was at a 1982 Elks Club party in Burbank, California, where he was backed by a high school band. From there, he says, the only place I can go is up. Philip vehemently disputes most of the revelations in Gary's book. We never got an extra whack or a cuff we didn't deserve, he insisted, nor does he believe that Dixie, his mom, was an alcoholic. If she was, she did a hell of a good job disguising it. From his perspective, his parents had a very good marriage. Philip contends that he understood Dad probably better than anybody in the whole family. He does not deny that Bing believed in corporal punishment. When I was in high school, Dad caught me smoking in the barn in our ranch in Elko, Nevada. There just happened to be a plank laying there, and he said, assume the position. But he harbors no, even though his dad smoked a pipe.
Mm-hmm.
And probably cigarettes, too, I would imagine. But he harbors no resentment toward Bing. If Dad had picked up a...
Careful.
I can't, a damn monkey wrench. I'll leave out the God, and then it won't be taking the name of the Lord in vain, which apparently bothers ABC, because they're so God-fearing. And he's so next to God. There are no FCC rules about what you can and can't say. They're all corporate rules. And that's one of the things you can't say around here, because they're very religious people. And you can tell by the way they treat people that they really they have that Christian spirit. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If he'd picked up a monkey wrench and said, assume the position, I would have done it. Well, look at this guy. You got to buy this magazine
just to see
this guy. I mean, Gary's struggling with alcoholism, or he was, and I guess he's got it
still in
now.
AA.
Yeah, but he looks like he's got a pretty sane life going. He's got a nice looking wife and everything. And Lindsay, the youngest of the 4, does what? Do you know? Did you get that far yet?
No.
And Dennis. Looks like he's got a pretty normal-looking family, huh? But this, the only one who really says that the book's an out-and-out lie is the one who looks like he is just totally gone off the deep end.
Yeah.
Look, he's got like some hats from his dad. See?
Yeah.
A couple of golf hats and one of those brim hats that he
Yeah.
always wore. Ooh, pretty weird. I think Pat'll be that weird?
Hopefully not. You've got to catch it now. You have to...
Well, I beat the hell out of him every day, Gary. No, just kidding.
All right, got some commercials. We'll be right back.
Philip is the one we were just talking about who's got the funky-looking den and defends his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the People magazine's description of Philip's pad. Philip, however, guards the family honor. Says he, Gary has been an embarrassment to the family since he was in grade school. Replies Gary, Philip milks his position as dad's son for everything he can get. Keeper of the Flame is indeed Philip's full-time occupation. He lives alone in a 3-bedroom Los Angeles home that is a mockery of the Holmby Hills mansion in which he was raised. Boxes of junk and piles of old magazines litter the rooms. A bathroom emits the smell of urine. In the den, two televisions play simultaneously.
Oh, jeez.
Empty milk cartons are stacked against the kitchen wall. In one corner, soft drink and beer cans form a pyramid. The object of Philip's game is to throw yet another can on the pyramid without disturbing the pile.
That's how Dan's apartment's going to look, I predict. I told you he's going to be one of those people that ends up with a place 4 feet high in garbage, you know, like they find.
Yeah, like the rat
He's on
lady.
his way, yeah.
My mother won't know where to find me. And the other one, Dennis, who doesn't want to talk about it. He wants to just leave the family skeletons in the closet.
Which Philip has, in fact, in his closet.
Doesn't work. And then the youngest one, Lindsay, apparently he doesn't work either. He's got a Trans Am. He drives around in a black Trans Am with the speakers blaring, a can of beer by his side. He keeps a stable of about a dozen quarter horses, which he hopes to breed. Of his 3 wives, they've all had...
multiple marriages.
I think.
Well, I think this is Gary's second. Philip had 4. That's as far as I got.
Dennis has had 2. He's on his second one, and Lindsay 3.
Let's total that up.
Of his 3. And they've all had battles with the bottle, too.
All right, listen, can you hang on a second?
Yeah, sure.
All right, we'll finish up here, come back, and talk Daddy Dearest.
Just beyond...
Be at Mother's on Thursday, St. Patrick's Day, doing the show from 2:30 to 7. It's at 26th West Division. 45 right now.
It's like State Division right around there.
Yeah, right off of Rush. You'll find it.
Yeah. Okay. You know, Bing always used his second family in those orange juice commercials.
Right.
Because his first family, probably they would have like been putting vodka in the Minute Maid. Because I guess all the guys had a little bit of a drinking problem. Or have, you know, depending on which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's really nothing else that interesting. Gary made up with his dad, sort of, before he died. And apparently he was much nicer to his second family than his first.
Mm-hmm.
So, just to, you know, be fair to Der Bingle Schnitzel. But, yeah, this Philip, ooh, there's a movie there.
Space Cowboy, yeah.
Yeah. Philip, too, has a history of drinking, but his approach is different from Gary's. A man's got to believe in something, jokes Philip, and I believe I'll have another drink. In 1980...
As both TVs blare.
And the smell of urine, urine permeates the house. But he's got all these air fresheners happening.
Yeah.
easier than cleaning the bathroom, I guess.
Sure.
But maybe not effective to an outside nose because People magazine smelled the urine right off. Maybe Gary's used to it. I mean, Philip. Geez, there's so many kids. That Bingle Schnitzel was so
fertile,
reproductive, wasn't he? I believe I'll have another drink. In 1980, he was arrested on 3 occasions for drunken driving. Says he's smiling. I don't drink anymore, but I don't drink any less.
He's got a good stand-up thing happening.
An 18-month stint with AA has proved ineffective. Philip does not consider himself an alcoholic. An alcoholic is someone who can't control his drinking. I can, but I don't want to.
Are you writing for him or what? I'm Philip Crosby. I don't drink anymore, but I don't drink any less.
Like his older brother.
Oh!
And Gary's his older brother. Philip was first married to a Las Vegas lady, a showgirl named Sandra Jo Drummond. They all married showgirls or dancers. Second and third wives, Mary Joyce Gabbard and Georgie Edwards, were also Vegas showgirls. Says Philip of Georgie, his favorite, she was the only one who didn't have a cookie in the oven when I married her. The impending arrival of Philip Jr., one of his 4 children, prompted his marriage to fourth wife Peggy Doris, a part-time actress. They divorced in 1975. And then we told you about his last
I'm
gig.
Philip Crosby, and I don't drink anymore, but I don't drink any less. Good evening.
Man.
How? I mean, it's pretty sad. I mean, all those guys are like totally screwed up.
Yeah. The second family seems to be doing a little bit better.
Yeah, but how can a family be that screwed up?
I don't know.
I mean, you got to see the picture of this Philip in this place. It's very sad. He's there.
ABC management material.
Oh, yeah. He's on his way.
WLS FM 95 Chicago. Thanks for listening. Brant Miller in progress. Have a nice night. We shall chat mañana.
Peace. Well, what do you got for us?
Well, you know how sometimes you get that echo?
Yeah.
And everything you say comes back like a second and a half after you say it on the phone when you call long distance. That was happening, and I couldn't...
You couldn't talk.
So he's calling me back. But he's being nice, but I think he's going to...
Yeah? You feel it? Do you feel it, huh?
I think he's going to pop on me.
Yeah?
I feel it.
All right, we're talking...
He called me Wild Man, though. How you doing, Wild Man?
Wild Man. That's pretty nice.
I know him from before. He set up the Joe Walsh thing for us.
That's
Joe
right.
Came down, and we've done he manages the Eagles, Joe Walsh, Steely Dan, not just Sticks.
Steely Dan.
So he's not going to jeopardize his whole trip for
and
one
here's
band.
that phone call again.
Okay. Hello? Yes, ma'am. It's much better. Thanks.
All right, he's got a better line. You want us to go to commercials?
You do what you want. I'm going to talk to him.
All right, I'm going to go have a grilled cheese then. I'll be right back.
Yeah, get me one too, with bacon.
The end is...
Okay? Talk to you soon. Bye.
Steve, I got some words for you. All right. All right, what do you got for us?
A smart man.
Turn him on.
He does turn me on. George does. He's a smart man. He's not going to call up and yell at me, you know. He's not like the last guy they had. He said, I heard your name taken in vain the other night.
Uh-oh.
And I said, that was weird. Do people know who I was talking to? Did you set that up? I didn't hear.
No, not since the first time we called him.
The guy that manages Sticks.
Yes? Continue.
He also manages the Eagles, Joe Walsh, Dan Fogelberg, Jimmy Buffett.
Quite a stable.
Steely Dan.
Where did he go for lunch? Jason's? Did you ask him?
Ma Maison.
Ma.
Yeah. He went over to Ma's place. And, the boy makes some loot. So it's important to him to not alienate us because, of course, he has other bands, too. Like Joe Walsh, who we like a lot and who was on the show last year. And, he did real well out at Poplar Creek. And that might have, been because we helped a little bit when he was on the show. We talked about the show. We were out there, and Joe treated us nice out there and dedicated a song to us.
But what was the purpose of this phone call, Steve? Huh?
They asked me to lighten up a little bit.
On what, Steve?
on Kilroy was here.
What? Your name was taken in vain, and who took it? Did he say?
All of them did.
Steve. Oh.
Because they're not in town, they're out touring, but they've got relatives taping the show.
This show?
And they're very upset.
About what? Steve, what? What are they upset about?
That we make fun of Kilroy was here.
Why?
I don't know. All their shows are sellouts, and the album is doing real well, so if I were them, I wouldn't be concerned. But not mannequin.
Uh-huh.
I am the modern man.
And what else?
And when he's going to be coming through town with them, and he wants to get together, shoot the breeze. He said he'll take us to the show if we want to go. I am the modern man. Thank you. Thank you.
I've got a secret. I've been hiding under my skin.
They're doing it again. What, Dennis? What are they doing?
My blood is boiling.
They're making fun. Turn it off. But he was pretty cool about it.
Yeah, he's obviously pretty cool. But you did get reamed once, because I saw this for making fun of a Fleetwood Mac album, and this woman was like crazy.
Yeah, from Warner Brothers. But I got reamed by A&M Records. Well, and actually the old management company that they had. They reamed me for making fun of Babe.
But
hey, I can't help it if I don't think it's good. What am I supposed to do? Pretend it's good just because they're from Chicago? That would be like pretending Cup is good. I mean, it's a sophomoric concept, I'm sorry, and executed in a sophomoric fashion. What am I supposed to do? That's what I think.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive.
So if you see me acting strangely, don't be surprised. I'm just a man who...
I wanted to like it. When the record came out, we were in Florida. You started making fun of it immediately. I tried to like it. You were there, weren't you?
Yeah.
I listened to the album. I tried to like it. I can't help it. It's stupid.
Needed someone and someone to hide.
That's all I tried. I really tried to be open-minded about it, because I like JY and Tommy. I've never met Dennis. Probably won't get the chance to.
Are you sure?
You keep me alive.
I think that the band has done some great stuff, but I don't like everything that they do.
And you don't like stuff that other bands have done, too. I mean, that's...
And I say that.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Become the modern man that we know you can be.
And not a mannequin.
Mannequin.
Somewhere to hide.
Everybody.
Keep me alive. I'm not a robot without emotions. I'm not what you see.
I kind of think they borrowed a little from my E.T. too on this. But I don't want to do a whole Bee Gees, take the Bee Gees to court thing. But there's a lot of E.T. in that one.
Yeah.
But
and a lot of BS.
That too. Anyway, he said he basically called to say hi because he sort of fallen out of touch with me, and my name was brought up in vain at a meeting with them. And
thought it'd be
but
good time
it was a gentle reminder, like, hey, come on, I do things for you, you do things for me. Lay off. And I think you can see that we have.
A little bit, yeah.
with your problems so we can be free. I'm not a hero, I'm not the savior. Forget what you know. I'm just a man who's
We're very open-minded, and when we hear a song we like it a lot. Like this.
As much money as you ever make in radio, right here, you're looking at two guys that are doing it. And I don't want, I'm tired of jacking around with these $12,000 a year jerks. I'll be quite honest with you. You get somebody that can perform to the caliber, perform to our caliber, or at our caliber, I guess, right? Maggie? Like you?
I would say with is the, are you asking grammar?
Well, yeah, perform
at the level, you
at our
say?
caliber, yeah. Yeah. Somebody who fits into the rifle, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of all these blanks. Shooting blanks all the time. They're over there, they're chatting, Anyway, yeah, I never noticed, maybe, and I don't remember because I saw it back in like '76 when it came out. But When You Wish Upon a Star is in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in the part where he's in the spaceship, I think, and I don't remember seeing it before. But that's kind of cool. And the top of the spaceship kind of looks like the Magic Kingdom, the castle, and everything.
You know what else they did? Spielberg did. That trickster. He put the shark from Jaws and R2-D2 in the spaceship on the outside. It's in there somewhere.
Yeah. I looked. I couldn't see. But
you mean for like his own in-joke?
Yeah, just kind of.
And he had, for a while the spaceship was making tones that sounded very much like the music from Jaws. He's nutty that way. But great movie.
Yeah.
Even on ABC. Although it stopped, it didn't end abruptly, but it stopped abruptly many times for,
Yeah.
Janet said to me, do you think like Spielberg consulted with them on when to stop and go to commercials? And I said, I don't think so, honey. I can't see Steven Spielberg sitting around talking to ABC executives about when he thinks the Stay Free Maxi Pads commercial should come on. All right, then we go to the Maxi Pads commercial right here. Or actually, it was Maxi Thins, I think. Some kind of sanitary device.
That was your radio name once.
Maxi Thins.
Maxi Thins with you. How are you?
I did a kind of a Fem Forum thing.
Yeah. Yes, Dan.
Last night on Columbo, who Steven Spielberg used to direct, they had one of the characters in the Columbo thing was called Little Steven Spellberg. The little boy with the robot was in Columbo last night was Steven Spellberg.
Okay, Columbo's not a real person. So.
It means Peter
Falk.
Yeah, no. Who he used to direct, which he used to direct. It's not a real person. I didn't know if he knew that.
Don't shatter his dreams.
That was worth ruining my Maxi Pads joke for? I felt rushed. I saw him bending over like he had something real important, so I'm like rushing my Maxi Pads joke. I wanted to work it a little bit better, get the extra beat in there, and that was worth wrecking my Maxi Pads joke for, or Maxi Thins joke. See, I think it was Maxi Thins, but I said pads. You know what I mean. There's a product called Maxi Thins as opposed to Maxi Pads.
Right.
That's Stay Free. Right? Anyway, Maxi Thins. He screwed the whole damn thing up for that.
53.
I have to go take a pee.
I was ready to do it at 4:53 and was busy doing another station when you so rudely impugned my professionalism. Now, to report the traffic. In Blue Island, there...
Yes, Magster, what's happening?
If you're waiting for a refund...
Yeah.
Hate letters.
Hate. Oh, that rhymes with skate, and that starts with S. And
it stands for Steve.
Yeah. Very good.
Mr. Guerin, I enjoy listening to WLS, particularly the morning shows.
Ow!
Today, during Larry Lujak's program, I heard Mr. Lujak say that Steve Dahl, D-A-U-L, and Gary Meyer
Yeah, forget it.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Will be on his show tomorrow. Why did you bring them to the AM programming? I used to listen to your radio station all of the time. Shortly after the Steve and Gary show started, I stopped listening to WLS in the afternoon. Apparently, she listens to WLS FM, right?
Right.
Because we're not on the AM.
Right.
I always change the station just before 2:30. Personally, I like listening to a station that plays mostly music and has an occasional joke or two. During the times I did listen to your afternoon programming, you didn't play very much music. This is typed, too.
Yeah, I bet she had to send out.
Have a service to it?
Yeah.
I particularly disliked the rudeness and criticisms that came out of Mr. Dowell's, or Dowell's, D-A-U-L, mouth. I thought his humor was very tasteless. What does it taste like? I can't taste a thing.
They don't want, Steve, this station doesn't want people that taste good. They want people with good taste.
Tasteless and, well, okay, let me do this again because this is a pretty heavy sentence.
Oh, yeah.
I thought his humor was very tasteless. He was neither funny nor entertaining. Mr. Lujack said something to the effect of, quote, he hopes the audience doesn't blame him for the some odd number of times that Mr. Dahl says the word penis on his show. I won't blame him. Then again, I won't be listening to WLS tomorrow morning or any other time that those two are on. I like your AM programming just the way it is. Larry Lujack has some great gimmicks to keep this listener listening. Well, if she listens to the AM, she doesn't have to change when we're on then. I mean, she doesn't even know what she's listening to.
Oh, you don't believe that, do you?
Or, maybe she means morning.
Yeah.
AM. Okay.
Right.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, because she says PM here. Larry Lujack has some great gimmicks to keep this listener listening. He's funny, witty, and has a good format. Please don't ruin his show by having what I refer to as the PM Smut Team on too often. Thanks for listening. I don't know if I can. I don't think I can say
the PM Smut Team.
Yeah. And here's the response from the man of scum. Dear Sharon, thank you for your comments. We'll keep your comments in mind when we consider placing Steve and Gary on WLS AM again. In the afternoon, rather than change stations, at least change to Tommy Edwards on WLS AM from 2:30 to 7.
Oh, God. That's why he wears the WLS belt buckle. Right there.
Want another one?
Sure.
This guy is like... This guy's a psychiatrist, I think.
Steve, how long are you in town for?
And this guy is right off the world here. I mean, with this thing. Dear Mr. Garrett, I am appalled. This afternoon, I happened across FM 95 at 2:18 p.m.
2:18?
I listened for 1.5 hours to see if what I heard was representative of your program. It was. Hey, I don't know. We're not even on at 2:18. So for the first 12 minutes, come on.
I mean, we're not even on the air.
Actually,
till about 2:35, 2:40 we start.
Well, I'm just reading what this guy wrote. Your program is not in the spirit of Archie Bunker.
Okay. Hey, stifle yourself there, Edith.
Hey, meathead.
What you call your chinkapuncture?
Like there's only one...
Ah, come on, Gloria. A little girl, sit down here. Like that? You mean we should do more of that?
Why do you keep turning your microphone on and off?
Because there's a lot of room noise that I don't want.
I know, but
to
like you
interfere.
turned it off in the middle of a sentence there.
I'm getting like Joe Ponce.
You just turning yourself on and off.
I know, I'm like Joe Ponce. Give me a button and I'll push it, okay? Just don't put a button in front of me.
Okay, the program is not in the spirit of Archie Bunker. In that 1.5 hours, you used vulgarities so offensive to the average citizen of the area who might be tuning in your signal that they would overlook the real intent of your program.
I think this guy wants to be a radio critic.
Jeez. I don't see the program. I mean, you know, it's like, how can you be a PhD and not get it? Like that there's disc jockeys and they're on for 4 hours and... I don't know. I guess if you just stay in school long enough, they give you one and kick you out. All right, there it is. Get out.
Yeah, really.
Thank you.
Jeez. And don't trip on your handlebar mustache on the way out.
Your philosophy is clear. Get numbers at the expense of weak groups such as Jews and gays. And above all, put down enlightenment. Nice to know that a guy with a PhD can't pick up on our message.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't put down those groups. We do just the opposite. We say if we're all equal, we all deserve to be made fun of equally. Nice to know a guy can have a PhD and not get that.
Go on.
Mr. Guerin. That's why I said PhD, because I was trying to mark my place.
Mm-hmm.
Guerin. Okay. Gotta have one eye on the G in Guerin so I could find my place again. Your strategy is, and this is underlined, not very original. Yes. Yes, the educational level of the teen today is much lower. Oh, got to changes here.
Yeah.
I should know. One of my consulting areas is educational measurement. And I was asked over 1 year ago to write and edit the ACT science questions.
That's that test you get in high school. ACT, that stands for something.
He wrote the science questions. Yeah. We're honored, sir. Just recently, I have been asked by a major educational publisher to write a science booklet for the teen, which will present the nature and possibilities of science. It is to be a booklet...
What is this, a promotion for his booklet?
It is to be a booklet to be written... You better have somebody proofread it. It is to be a booklet to be written to encourage and enthuse one to learn. Once again, it is to be a booklet to be written to encourage and enthuse one to learn. Yeah, get a proofreader. Yeah, definitely. Somebody's going to have to edit that thing for you. I am... And now we get into big, like, all capitals. I am discouraged. How can I compete with you?
You can't, you moron. Get out of our way. We'll speak your language.
He must be I don't know what he is. Is he a psychiatrist or a scientist or what? Who knows? It doesn't say. It just says he's a PhD.
Big deal. You can say that.
I am sending carbon copies to enlightened individuals.
I bet he got the carbon all over his fingers, too.
With whom I have enjoyed... Of course, you could just Xerox it.
Oh, yeah. What? Yeah. He's got
to figure out how the machine works first. That'll be in the book. I am sending carbon copies to enlightened individuals with whom I have enjoyed working or corresponding. I invite your response to the question, why is the strategy used at WLS Radio? Oh, I'm sorry. Why is this strategy used at WLS Radio and WLS Television?
What?
Okay, here's who he sent the copies to. Vincent T. Wasilewski, president of the National Association of Broadcasters, and Landers, Sun-Times. Maryland Preston, Chicago Tribune.
Oh.
FCC in Washington, FCC Chicago. Representative Carl D. Perkins, Democrat, Kentucky, co-author of H.R. 1310.
Okay.
Whatever that is. And Rep. Don Fuqua, D. Florida, co-author H.R. 1310.
All right. Some pretty heavy people there.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's not too scary.
I mean, that thing is like off the world. Whoa. No wonder I never liked science when I was in school. What are we doing here? Some commercials?
Jeez. Yeah, he's got his name up here.
Yeah, PhD.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
They must get those. You can get those in Cracker Jack boxes now.
Well, all you gotta do is go to an Insti-print, and I can put Dr. Steve Dahl, PhD. Who's gonna stop me?
Yeah. That's obviously what he did.
Yeah, Insti-print. Are those PhD?
Well, look at his signature.
Is that PhD letterhead done yet?
Look at his signature.
Yeah.
That tells you a lot right there.
Yeah.
We've always found it amusing that people even take the time to write. I mean, there are more important things in the world than writing about us.
Well, he should be working on that book.
Yeah.
And actually, it's interesting, too, that this guy has something to do with education when actually it's been proven that kids are much smarter today than they ever were. Maybe in different ways, but in ways that I think end up benefiting them more. But I don't want to get into a whole rap about that. I just wanted to make fun of this guy's letter. So let's move on.
It is to be a booklet to be written to encourage and enthuse one to learn.
Northbound down the drive, we've got a problem between Division and our north, rather, in Fullerton. Southbound slow from 53rd to 57th. Kennedy, very heavy from downtown to Harlem. Express lanes hit the brakes at Fullerton. Eisenhower slow from Sacramento most of the way to the 1st and get at 25th. Inbound on the 290 extension, tight at north. Outbound from north to 83, then backing up at Mill because of an accident. Stevenson is slow from the Ryan ramp to California, 20 minutes Lakeshore Drive to Harlem, and the Ryan is slow out to Roosevelt, then from 47th to 71st. That's WLS FM traffic. I'm Ann Williams.
First one is funnier, and I think it's, I don't know, he must have been listening to Larry's show. Dear Sir, a few minutes ago, I tuned in your station around 6 a.m. your time as I was getting ready to go to work.
6 a.m. our time. What time was it for him?
He's in Winamac, Indiana.
That was 1958. If it's 6 a.m. here, it's 1958 there.
I think it should be at around 6 a.m. too, but I'm not going to correct it. I'm just going to read it. I have thought of your station as a progressive, likable station until I listened to it for about 10 minutes. Where do they get these people?
I don't know. They're out there. That scares me.
First, I listened to Jonathan somebody and Catherine somebody.
That's Jeffrey Hendricks.
Yeah, Jeffrey Hendricks and Catherine John.
He just took the
Johns.
Catherine Johns?
Yeah, he made her last name, yeah. Lightly discussing Ann Landers and some court case about a person giving another person genital herpes. Ow! And then the woman suing the donor as the I'm just going to read it the way it's written. Written. Sorry, I had to kind of crawl down to his level to pull this off. First, I listened to Jonathan somebody and Catherine somebody lightly discussing Ann Landers and some court case about a person giving another person genital herpes, and then the woman suing the donor as the donor said he was disease-free.
That means you don't stay up all night if you're disease-free. Oh, that's caffeine-free. I'm sorry.
They were discussing this so lightly, almost condoning free sex. The guy's obviously a pimp. Wants people to pay for it. That it was disgusting. Then a few minutes later, another disc jockey was giving tickets away for some suggestive rock concert entitled "Let's Spend the Night Together."
Oh,
this
man.
is 1983. with people suggesting free, uncommitted sex and promoting programs like Let's Spend the Night Together so nonchalantly, it's no wonder that the sexual morality of the country is in such poor shape. I think you have an obligation to support morality since you are a public station. Your station is deteriorating the morals of those who listen to it. I would think you should try to improve rather than destroy the morals of your listeners, especially when most of your listeners are of a very young age group. The country is in bad enough condition without promoting loose, immoral living. Would you please advise me of your position on the morality of the people you employ?
No problem.
And the station you operate, as I was really disturbed by the depths of morality of your personnel. I'm reading it as written, as your station, I'm sorry, and your station this morning. Then that was Jan 28. March 8th, upset again. Dear sir, it's about as hard to find a radio station that I like to listen to as it is to find a good 5-cent cigar.
What? What are you looking at me like you don't understand it?
I was on my way out of town the other day driving a company vehicle. That's for tax purposes. He can show the IRS the letter. Company vehicle. See, I put it right in the letter.
He gets audited. I got a letter here. I made a copy.
I was on my way out of town the other day driving a company vehicle. And I happened to turn the radio on, and your station was tuned in. Some singing disc jockey was reading a letter of complaint about his singing on the radio, and he gave a sarcastic remark that I think should have been directed to the writer of the letter and not over the air. His response to the complaint was, "You can bend over and kiss my..." And he's left it blank because he couldn't even type ass in, apparently.
No.
This type of discussion should be confined to the streets and not permitted over the air. I would like to think that a radio station would enhance, he uses this line again now, enhance the quality of and morals of its listeners, not deteriorate them. I would like to know if you feel any obligation to broadcast high-quality programs. If so, I would like to see the language cleaned up. By the way, I've changed stations and listened to another.
Oh, that hurts. Steve,
yeah.
Let's just say we're sorry. WLS FM 95.
For gosh sakes.
Steve's Al, Gary Meyer, your PM smut team, and we'll be right back.
Ooh, ooh. Oh. Oh.
Someday, buddy, you're obnoxious.
We're back to the Ernie Kovacs thing.
Yeah,
he was
so.
driving. I guess he was
tasteless.
wedged.
It's kind of scary to think someone who can't control their temper any better than you got through men's school.
Extremely tasteless.
Hey, I didn't tell her to take the Valiums and drink the gin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, were you at
Never
the party?
do drugs, right?
Not me.
Uh-huh.
I learned about them from 2020.
Yeah, there you go. Well, look out, fella.
Okay,
See ya.
thank you.
Wait a minute. What about Ernie Kovacs?
Have a nice
Who took care of
day.
him?
I think she's been dipping into the medicine cabinet a little bit at work. All right, just a little more morphine. I'm going to be fine.
Steve, I told you not to force Karen Ann to take the gin and Valium at the same time. You're in the air.
Yeah, it's my fault. I was there. Come on, Karen, just a couple more Valiums.
You're in the air.
Hi, I just want to say hi to Greg Butts at Panduit from Brenda.
You know,
All right.
thanks for reminding us, because we were going to do that, too.
You know, I love Panduit out in Tinley Park. A lovely operation. Right across from the high school.
Yeah, I used to work there.
Who didn't? Everybody worked at Panduit. They went to Tinley Park High School.
What is it?
They make, there's a fence around it, so it must be a government thing. They make plastic parts or something, right?
Right.
And I knew some guy.
All right, the charges against you are, and then they hand us this thing about Joe Kuhn, and Joe was embarrassed by what we said, and I said, hey, bottom line is, the guy, I just told the truth. The guy made a mistake. I'm sorry. Well, we all make mistakes. Okay, so when I make a mistake, I say I make a mistake. When Howie makes a mistake, I say Howie makes a mistake. I also praise Howie if he does a good job. Yeah, well, and I said, besides that, I made up with Joe. And so the shop steward turns to me, I'll tell you something. Totally like, we were having like a, normal conversation. I'll tell you something. If you died tomorrow, Joe Kuhn would not go to your blinking funeral. So what? I'll be dead. I won't know the difference.
Yeah, right there, we decided that.
And everybody kind of looks at me like, I think all of a sudden they all realized how stupid this was. How stupid this was that, like, 9 grown men, them more grown than me, and Gary, or Gary and I, Gary and me, were doing this. Before I went in, it was like Don Geronimo went in because he was editing some tapes when he wasn't supposed to be upstairs or something. He goes, oh, man. He comes out, oh, man, it's really heavy in there. And I'm thinking, what are they going to, do they have an electric chair in there or something? And they're going, oh, you're going into the grievance meeting. Oh. I said, hey, what are they going to do, take me to prison? It's just a union. What are they, they're going to fine the station. Oh. I mean, I don't, plus they're getting rid of the union in April. I mean, good power base. So anyway, everybody was pretty cool except the shop steward. He at one point said we can't even. He wanted to make it so we could never mention any of the engineers. I said I think a lot of the engineers like to be mentioned on the air. Howie, George, a lot of them. I mean, I think even Joe Kuhn likes it. I mean, he's worked here for 40 years, and now at least people know that he worked here. People other than his wife. You know what I mean? So he said, we should not be mentioned. We should not be talked about, whether we do good or bad. He's screaming. I said, well, then you're putting yourself up, because, of course, we make fun of everyone. I said, you're putting yourself above the rest of the human race. He goes, I don't give a blank about the human race. All I care about is us. Mm-hmm. And at that point, even the guys on your side, Howie, went, whoa. And I don't know. I said we made up. Whoa, I bet if you brought him up here right now, he would tell you that they haven't made up. Like that makes any difference. Well, better turn the transmitter off till they make up. I mean, insane. Total insanity. The insane games of men that act like little boys. Swear to God. And, I mean, I'm sitting there with my hat down and my mirrored shades on. Just sitting there, leaned back in the chair. And then we get to the part about where I played the tape in here with the tape recorder. You know what? Big deal. So I said I wouldn't do it again. Okay. We left.
What are you going to do?
But this, I don't know. It was very strange. It just didn't.
Yeah, made no sense at all.
I don't understand. See, and here's what I don't get. Okay, Howie, if I may. In the first place, well, like for example, one of the engineers got called at home and asked a question. So the shop steward found out about it and said, you deserve a day's pay for that. If they call you at home, you get a day's pay. So he ends up getting a day's pay today. They decided that. Now, if you're in a union that they're trying to boot out, see, they've been doing this all along, and they've been trying to boot them out for years. Why would you do stuff like that? I mean, there's plenty of stuff I would like to do that I don't do because you have to coexist. But it's like they don't get it. He's not tracking, you know what I'm saying? So, if you're doing a job, if your job function can be replaced by people that are already here, it seems to me that you wouldn't make waves. Am I right? I mean, the disc jockeys can do the engineering. So why would if I knew that and I was an engineer, I'd keep my mouth shut. I'd be real nice to everybody. Say, hey, how you doing? Good morning. Yeah, I'm making pretty good money for doing something that you guys could do. How are you? How are you? Sure, I know the disc jockeys could do it, but let's all have a good time and be friends and hang out. But instead, they go the total other way. Like, this station can't survive without us. When every station, in the country just about has phased out engineers. Insane.
Totally.
Insane.
Well, thank you for that.
Well, it's not so funny, but it was just weird.
It was insane is what it was.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. What's the point of being antagonistic? I mean, look where it got the union. They're getting phased out. They should have tried to be cool and say, hey, what can we do to make things better? Let's work this out. I know we're not necessarily indispensable, but, there are some advantages to having us around. Let's make this thing happen. Why? Instead, I don't give a blank about the human race. If you died tomorrow, Joe Kuhn wouldn't come to your blinking funeral. Like, I care.
Yeah, that was a strong statement at that point, I thought.
Come on, this guy's sitting there in bad polyester clothing yelling at me.
Well, that's what happened, and believe it or not, it really happened. Nothing was embellished.
Yeah.
That was how it went down.
I'm going to be real worried about that when I'm in Hollywood at my mansion in Beverly Hills swimming in the pool that Joe Kuhn isn't going to come to my funeral when I die.
Of course not. He's not going to go all the way out to Beverly
Ferrari,
Hills.
When I crash my Dino Ferrari.
When he lives here, why should he go out to Beverly Hills?
I'm going to be real upset.
Plus, you're going to be cremated. There's nothing to go to. We'll be right back.